Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Then, right, and we're seeing this here, of course. Once again, hey, when you as bad as the Giants were last season, right? Right. A lot of people think you have obviously a bottom 5 roster, right? And this article here I'm about to go over is no different. Thinking the Giants have a bottom 5 roster. Now, do they have a bottom 5 roster? Or do they just have maybe bad coaching? Do they have some bad luck with injuries? Right. So from SI.com. Do the Giants really have a bottom 5 roster? One national media outlet doesn't approve of the Giants' roster changes for one specific reason, which probably doesn't justify ranking them among the bottom 5. Despite spending over $300 million in free agency this offseason and adding what appears to be another strong draft class, the Giants roster still isn't getting any love from one national outlet. In his analysis of the 5 worst rosters in the NFL, Bleacher reports Kristopher Knox ranks the Giants 4th worst, putting Big Blue ahead of only the Browns, the Saints, and the Titans, but just behind the Panthers. So the Panthers, according to whoever Kristopher Knox is, according to him, the Panthers have a better roster than the Giants. Ultimately, this analysis came down to one position on the Giants, quarterback. But the Giants quarterback room looks much better on paper than it did a year ago, thanks in part to the promise of rookie Jaxson Dart. There's still concerns about the projected starter Russell Wilson and backup Jameis Winston. Though the Giants quarterback room looks has the problem is that Dart isn't viewed as a pro-ready prospect. And the veteran quarterback duo of Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson leaves plenty to be desired, Knox said. Winston remains turnover prone. Well, he did a pretty good job of protecting the ball with the Steelers last year. So I'm not exactly sure. And then maybe turnover prone if he gets hit a lot, maybe. But let's say Dart is in a pro-ready quarterback right now, nor should he be expected to perform like one just a couple of weeks after being drafted to sit behind Wilson and Winston. Well, the Giants haven't formally outlined a quarterback plan. The thought is that Dart will sit for a while, if not the entire season, so he can fully immerse himself in the offense and be ready to hit the ground running once he demonstrated that he's mastered the system. Now, it's not an easy system. I don't think many people would argue about Winston's point. He's been turnover prone his entire NFL career. Oh, Jameis Winston. Not Wilson, but Winston, yeah. Oh, yeah, Winston, Jameis Winston, yeah. He'll throw you into a game and he'll throw you out of a game. But he has enough experience to say he is just one who is a quarterback. Still, Winston, who, like Dart, was a first-round draft pick, brings value to the young rookie's development. I don't understand or agree with Knox's point about Winston. While I don't think he played exceptional football by any stretch of the word, I strongly disagree with saying that he floundered. Wilson played average football for most of the season when he was available in 2024, outside of one game against the Bengals. The game against the Chiefs wasn't pretty, but he operated under constant duress in the backfield and performed well for a quarterback who's expected to be average. Wilson's stats weren't gaudy, maybe leading people to believe that Wilson was struggling more down the stretch. Context also matters. The Steelers had a bottom 10 offensive line and a run game that was happy if it walked away with a 4-yard per carry average in a game. Their top 4 pass catchers were a tight end, a wide receiver, and 2 running backs, which is not going to get the job done. As someone who has been very critical of the Giants in recent years, I think the addition of Wilson helps elevate the floor because it finally gives the Giants an average quarterback play. Even outside the quarterback question, the Giants roster is no longer a bottom 5 roster in the NFL due to the upgrades this team has made over the aforementioned back-to-back strong off seasons. And I said, and their starters on defense is to me is top 10. Giants offensive line will be average to above average if the starting 5 can they stay healthy, especially if some of the moves on the interior work out. In the pass catching group, the Giants have a guy in Malik Neighbors who is coming off a 1,200-yard season despite abysmal quarterback play. They also have a complimentary outside receiver in Darius Slayton, a chain mover and slot receiver, Wandale Robinson, and a promising rookie tight end in Theo Johnson. Defensively, there's a strong argument to be made that the Giants might just have the best pass rush in the NFL. I mean, if not, top 5. The defensive front has been heavily invested in and should dominate the line of scrimmage in 2025 if we can stay healthy. Defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence is the best nose tackle on the planet. And he'll have rookie Darius Alexander next to him full-time at some point. Giants also have an elite edge rush group with Burns, Kayvon, and Abdul Carter. Secondary is a bit of a wild card regarding how new additions like Adebo and Holland will mesh with the rest of the unit. Still, in an on-paper conversation, that's a strong secondary. That should be considered a potential top 10 secondary. Could be. And it's young, too. And we got him for like 3 more years. That's, possibly Banks for 3 years. But anyway, that said, the Giants need to continue to add depth in some areas. And the roster still has valid question marks, absolutely, that will hopefully be answered throughout the spring and the summer. But to suggest it's a bottom 5 roster, that's about as obvious a stretch as you'll find. So, I mean, once again, this guy, Kristopher Knox or whatever his name is, he thinks the Giants. I don't. I mean, once again, it's kind of the same thing. Like when the Giants had Daniel Jones here, we were never going to get any love from anybody, right? As long as we had Daniel Jones in there, that just was not happening, right? And we always had the offensive line problems. We got to prove that we got the offensive line. We got to prove we got the quarterback, right? Then, then things just, some people start looking at us as maybe not a bottom tier roster, but until you prove them otherwise, it is what it is. But I said, I don't think to me, I certainly don't think the Giants have a bottom 5 roster.